All right, guys, so let's go ahead. We're actually going to get started with actions first, just so I can kind of tie this together a little bit. So when we're mapping dispatch to props, we can dispatch actions. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go into our source directory, and above where components is, so in the source, we're going to add a new folder, and we're going to call it store. And then in store, we're going to add a new folder called actions. And then we're also going to, in store, we're going to add a new folder called reducers. And this is fine for right now. So in actions, let's go ahead and create a new file, and we're going to call this authactions.js. So in here, all we really do is we're going to write functions that in the end, they're going to return an object with a type and a payload. So the type is going to be the action name, so that we can specify and control the behavior based on that. So in this instance, the auth actions is going to have a login function. So we're going to need to create that. So let's go ahead and write export const login. And this is going to receive two parameters, both the email and the password. And it's a function, so we're using the arrow there. There we go. We can see that a little better. And so in this function, we're going to return, basically, dispatch. And we're going to have to dispatch an action. Or actually, we can, from right here, we can just return, because we're going to be dispatching the login function, which is going to return this here. And it's just a regular object. The type is going to be login, all caps. And then payload is going to be an object. And it's going to be email and pass. And I'm going to save this, and that's all we have to do there. Now, to actually rig this up, and I'm sure it's going to look a bit foreign until everything finally comes together, and I apologize for that. It's just one of those things that it's tough to explain other than this function we can use in login. And then when this returns, it's going to return to a reducer, which we will probably get to in the next video. But when we're thinking about this function right here, login, email, pass, I'm going to go to the login.js component function. And here's where we're going to rig that into right here. So instead of console log logging in user, we're actually going to dispatch auth actions dot login. To do that, we need to import the actions into this component. So import star as auth actions from, and now this file is in pages components source. So I think if I go 2 levels up, store auth actions, and we're going to save this, and that might be the correct path. No. Okay, pages to components, and then one more maybe. Oh, no, you know what it was? I was correct. It was only 2 levels up, but we forgot auth actions is actually in a directory called actions. There we go. So I'm going to save this. It should recompile. Still getting the Could not find store in the context information there. That's fine. This is working. Once we actually tie it all together, it'll just work. So what we need to do here down on the map dispatch to props is we need to basically tell this login function, which is going to be passed into the component as this.props.login, we need to tell that to now dispatch auth actions. So dispatch is a function, and we're going to dispatch auth actions dot login, and we can see Visual Studio Code has found the declaration of that login function, and it tells us we need to pass in email and pass. So we're going to just open up brackets here, and we're going to pass email and pass and save. So this basically is still going to give an error. By the end of the next video, hopefully we can get this to a state that you can actually see something happening.